everybody, my name is Leah. So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is actuary in insurance. Okay, so first we're going to be reviewing a little bit on what is actuary. Actuary is an occupation that you may take when you're growing up. What is an actuary? Actuary is a person that uses statistics, skills, method, skills, anything that they have the foundation of. They use those foundation, those information, etc., and they predict the likelihood of something that may happen. Now, as an insurance company, again, it is the job of the insurance company to deliver the benefit, the financial benefit for the customers, right? But again, these financial benefits are first much more costly a lot of times, and not always will they want to take all consumers, because again, in the end, what they really want is for the final premium money to be way higher than the amount of financial benefit that they may give you. So it's almost as if you're sending them money as like a bank account, but you give them some of them so that maybe in the future you may earn more or you may earn less from that. But now here, when insurance company think about who they want to sign a contract with, they would want to sign a contract with a person that is less likely to be facing with any situations where they might need like a benefit, like a financial benefit, right? So here, when considering customers, they will consider these main six characteristics and also a lot of other more, but we're just gonna cover these first. So first is gender. So gender could either be a man or a woman, right? So it is the gender of a man or a woman. Secondly is age. So it could range from the age of kids to teens to adults, like early adults to senior. So people that are almost on the verge of having a lot of health problems, etc. Moving on is education. So whether or not are they having high education or not, or like low education. So stops learning when high school or things like that. That's what considered as low education, things like that. Okay, moving on we have is the history. So their crime records, things like that. So whether or not do they have a history with like broken cars, anything like that. So a history of like their crimes or like the accidents or the things that they've got themselves into. Moving on is the health. Whether or not are they healthy or not healthy, or like what is the incentive of them getting sick. So are they like a healthy, strong person, or what is their stamina like, things like that. And as lastly is their occupation. So what job do they do? A lawyer or a teacher or a worker or just no job, a housemaid, things like that. So it's why do they even consider all of these characteristics, you may ask? Well, the thing here is that they would consider this mainly because based on these characterization, it would help them a lot. First, let's talk about gender. Let's say I'm an actuary for a company that sells car insurance, right? Now, a scientific research has proved that the majority of men would most likely have the tendency to get into car crash and drive more like careless than women. So when I consider a man as the person that's buying premium, then I would want to charge the premium higher. So the person that has more risk, we would want to charge them higher. But the person that has less risk, we will charge them for a less premium, right? And that is just how it works. They would not reject the customers, but they will fix the premium amount of money. Moving on is the age. Let's say, for example, a kid or a teen. Like in this situation, it's just teens, right? No kids included. But here, if a teen, they just got their driving license, then probably they would have the highest incentive to get into a driving problem. And senior would also have the highest because again, they have health problems, etc. So it's going to affect the driving quality in the end of the day, right? So that is also these two group of people that they may consider hiring up the amount of premium. Moving on is education. The average amount of people that have a higher education would have more information with all those learning, all of those, information that what will happen if they got into a car crash, or so it would lead into the problem of them less having the tendency to have a car crash. It's just the majority here, right? We cannot stereotype people, but it's the majority, the best that an actuary people can do. Now moving on to history. If they have more crimes, if they have a history of crashing cars, we would consider that, oh, in the future they would, right? Moving on is health. If a person has bad health, it most likely will affect their health, right? Or if it's health insurance, then if somebody already has the possibilities of having cancer, then we need to charge a way much more higher premium for cancer insurance, right? And then occupy. A person that's lawyer or a teacher, usually with their like names having to put, reputation having to hold, or just having too many people that they will be affecting, those people would majoritarily have the sense to not fall into these crimes more. So these things are all things that actually people consider. And what actually people are so important in business life insurance is that it's going to provide that these companies are the best from what they work for. Because again, insurance is not charity. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.